Hello, this is the Eye of the Swarm, and we're going into another episode of analysis of the Colossus, and as we see the statue of bearded Shatter, we'll hear from our wise demonic figure, Dorman. Let's hear what he has to say about the next Colossi. Thy next foe is... a ruin hidden in a lake. A ripple of thunder lurks under water. Alright then, now let's look for this relic in the lake. That's so cryptic. But then again, what did you expect of Dorman? Anyway, after going across the desert with aggro, you'll slowly see an ancient ruin just poking out like it shouldn't even be there. And as you go towards it, you will soon realize that there's some kind of lake. And soon I will show you the map, and with it I will show you where it is right now. And this is the precise location on where this temple lies. Now, let's watch this little cutscene as you enter this area. This large body of water holds a truly epic aquatic beast. Gives very Loch Ness vibes, strangely enough. Anyway, now I'm gonna climb up to the top of this little tower. You have to go high when you jump down into the water, which is a pretty exhilarating experience from what I've heard. Anyway, after we climb up and jump down, we will see this Colossi. Now, behold. Hydrus, the 7th Colossus, and also known as the Eel by the developers. And oh, this is definitely the most beautiful of the Colossi. Anyway, now let's move on to its basic design. Thanks to it being underwater, it's a bit hard. Luckily, I have a few pictures of it, which I will show you right now. As you can see, the underwater blur from these underwater pictures are a bit, noticeable. But I have some pictures of it surfacing, and even a really good picture that shows the entire body, and it more resembles a cross between an electric eel and a catfish, especially with those whiskers. Anyway, it's a pretty interesting creature. Now let's move on to the concept art. Here we have various concept arts, and well, one of them made Hydrus look like one of those sea dragons. Quite interesting. Maybe I'll use some of these, but maybe I won't. There's even one showing the actual battle. Pretty cool. Anyway, now let's move on how big Hydrus really is. In terms of length, he's around 96.6 meters long, around 24 meters high, and 8 meters wide. though 20, but the whisk is around 29, I think. So if you count the whiskers, he would be much wider. Anyway, now let's get into the battle itself. But first, let's look into its actual name. I've been calling this creature Hydra, but it's actually more appropriately called Hydrus, which I'll now call it. And it's a pretty simple name for a sea monster. Or lake monster in this case. Anyway, Hydrus is somewhat based for the word for Hydra, which is pretty obvious. Even though it doesn't have that many heads, it's still a serpentine creature. Though the name the nickname they gave it to for the developers, is a nice name for the 7th Colossus. Anyway, now let's actually get into the fight as we deal with this giant electric eel. And since it's an electric eel, you better stay away from those things or zap. But don't worry, it doesn't do that much damage. Actually, surprising enough for a giant sea monster based Colossus with an actual working mouth, it should bite more often. Anyway, what you're supposed to do is grab onto its tail when it lifts it up to the surface and slowly climb up. However, you must destroy each of those electric plates, which will electrify as soon as they touch water. Once you hit each of them, once you hit one, it should go down permanently. It would be quite shocking if they actually did somewhat recharge. But then again, most of the other Colossi, besides from my notice, don't get their special abilities back that often. Anyway, it will also do a lot of damage as well, so that's another thing to point out. Once all the electric things have been taken out, just stab it in the head, and this Colossi should be taken down. Just need to take out one last one. Oh yeah, and don't worry about drowning. You won't drown in this game, no matter how hard it seems. And there's another thing about Hydrus that you should really be worried about. Sometimes Hydrus will just go deep under water to the point where you can no longer hang on and you're forced to let go. It's times like this I kind of wish Hydrus actually attacked you, like a certain giant fish monster from a Resident Evil game. If you've seen my Resident Evil setting review, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, now let's see what happens after this Colossi has died. And, well, spoiler warning, in his actual death cutscene, he was shown sinking to the bottom. But here, his corpse just floats. I don't know if this is more disturbing than the others, since this thing is clearly made of rock, but it's still buoyant enough to stay on the surface. Very strange. Yeah. I don't know how to make up for this. And if you want to get up, you have to swim all the way to its head or to a certain point on the body. Yeah. This Colossi just confused me when I first saw it like this. I don't know how to feel about this. But anyway, now that we see its dead face, let's see what I have done for my own version of this great water serpent. In terms of my own version of this Colossi, I did not change that much, other than gave it a more crocodile or dragon-like head. But otherwise, I kept the design mostly the same, though I made those catfish-like feelers more noticeable. And I think I forgot to put some moss on this creature, but then again, my version is swimming in the ocean, so I don't think that much moss would grow on it. Or maybe it does, I don't know. Anyway, I mainly kept the most notable features, the electro spines attached to the creature. Now, to show you how long those whiskers are, have a look at this overview shot. As you see from this overview shot, I made the whiskers pretty long. Pretty cool, don't you think? And the more dragon or crocodile face is more noticeable here. Don't know if I will keep this design though. All of these designs are somewhat in the pre-progress stage. But trust me, when all of these pictures are done, I might make some stop motion models. Then the true designs will be revealed. But anyway, I think this Colossurs is pretty good. This is pretty much the only fully aquatic ones. There are others near water, but this one is the only one that actually swims. Pretty cool, don't you think? I kind of wish we got something like a Kraken or an Ammonite face one. Anyway, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let's see this Colossi die!